if anyone, like myself, doubted the hype around this game, that 80 minutes just completely shut me up. It was brutal, it was tactical, it was unpredictable, and exactly what you would expect from two of the greatest rugby nations on earth. And honestly, it could have gone either way in those last 5 minutes, but the All Blacks hang on. We got the win. Ardie Savea on his 100th cap produced that turnover. Absolute goosebumps moment. But I'm a proud All Black supporter, and I'm buzzing. We got the win. What an atmosphere. The atmosphere at Eden Park was electric. You know, you've had South African fans, you had the All Blacks fans, but the beauty of it, they came together, they respect each other, and that's what this rivalry is all about, and it was beautiful, and when two nations came out of that, they walked out of that tunnel, and Ardie Savea, walked out by himself to, celebrate his 100th test match. It gave me a lot of goosebumps, had butterflies, and it was a proud moment. And also seeing the Springbok come out, I was crying, my tears were running down, and my wife was like, "Why are you crying?" And I'm like, it's only a game. She was like, "It's only a game, but hey, to me, it means a lot. It's more than just a game. It's the biggest game of the year. Come on, it's the All Blacks and the Springbok. You can't beat that, what an occasion." But it was about 48,000, attendance in Eden Park. That was amazing. And that haka, the national anthem, just gave me chills. And what a special moment for two nations. And when we say this is the game of the year, it's true. It is absolutely true. There's a lot to like about this clash. When you think about it, the hype, the build-up, the preview, the history. Awesome. And I'll never forget it. This game will go down as the best game I've ever watched in a long time. In the modern era, I'm talking about the modern era. What a game. What an occasion and what an atmosphere. Honestly, it's up there. It is up there. When people talk about the Eden Park clash, the Fortress, this game right here is up there, man. Mad love to both teams. And what made it even special was when South Africa stayed back for Ardie's 100th test. Isn't that beautiful? The captain, Jesse Kriel, Sia Kolisi, showing respect to Ardie Savea. It's amazing, eh? That's, even though that they lost, win or lose, it doesn't really matter about the result, regardless of the result. That's the beautiful thing about rugby. Rugby is so beautiful. Reunites the players, eh? And that there was a special moment. And, for Sia Kolisi handing over a gift to Ardie was special. And it just shows good sportsmanship. And, even though we won, hey, we got to stay humble. We got to be humble. These two teams are the best teams in the world, and, we can't predict who wins. It's close to call, we just don't know at the end of the day. And we've just witnessed that. And what a moment. What a moment for Ardie Savea and his family. What a moment. This game meant a lot to all of us All Black supporters, and with that win, I salute the All Blacks. They proved me wrong. I'm always honest about the ABs in terms of their performance. I just want this nation to do well, and they did. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud of the boys. Credit to the All Blacks. They thoroughly deserve that win. But I've got mad respect for South Africa. You've got to give the Boks huge credit. I mean, they came back from that poor first half. and winning that second half battle. I mean, they were dominant at scrum time, and they turned the pressure up, and they didn't go away. I mean, this was a true test in every sense. And while we held the scoreboard, South Africa showed once again why they are the world champs. And the physicality, the heart, the pride, it was all there. But let's break it all down. I mean, the All Blacks were clinical. I also thought that the All Blacks defence was absolutely incredible. Much better than last year. Man, I could tell they did their homework. And yeah, I guess they were putting a lot of pressure on Grant Williams. And, you know, and also Andre Pollard. He didn't have huge impact in the game. He couldn't, you know, inject himself. I guess the All Blacks put a lot of pressure on the Springboks, especially on our 22 when there were moments where South Africa had an opportunity to counter and, you know, score a few points in our own half. But they couldn't execute, and it was poor execution from South Africa. I don't know if it was the weather that sort of, you know, played a huge part in it. Obviously, it was wet conditions, and I guess it was hard for South Africa to adjust in terms of, you know, their ball handling errors were poor. Yeah, I guess it was just one of those games where it was just scrappy, you know, because it was all wet, you know, and, you know, especially the aerial play as well was a bit scrappy. You know, both teams, you know, competing in the air, you know, it was a bit messy. But, you know, there were one occasions where, you know, the All Blacks won that aerial battle. I think one was, as I was watching, Damian McKenzie, you know, catching the high balls. But yeah, no, yeah, it was just critical moments like that. They were good moments, but yeah, fantastic defense from the ABs. And, yeah, I think they put a lot of pressure on the Springbok attack. It was unusual for the world champs, you know. It's unlike them, you know, making those errors, especially that cross kick from Beauden Barrett, that beautiful try from Narawa. You know, that blitz defense from South Africa, they were exposed on their edge, and you know, Andre Pollard was on the back foot. Then LaRue had to chase back. He rushed up, and you know, it gave more time for Narawa to score that brilliant try in the first half. Then he came off, picked up an injury, and then Will Jordan second, and that 50-22 from Beauden Barrett was absolute magic. Finley Christie played a great game. He played an awesome game. He was so calm and composed. He controlled the tempo of the game, and, you know, he just did his core role perfectly, and you know, his experience played a huge part in that game, and his kicking game was amazing, was awesome, and defensively as well. But the real turning point came late in the game. The Boks scored through Malcolm Marx and Cobus Ranak, and suddenly it was game on. You know, we were on the back foot, and honestly, our discipline started slipping. But then, in the dying moments, who else but Ardie Savea steps up and steals it at the breakdown, and that's how you cap off 100 tests. I thought Tupuvai was my man of the match, you know, especially under the high ball, winning the line-out contest. Yeah, he was solid in the line-out and the set piece. He was immense. His return to the second row alongside Scott Barrett was probably the best reshuffle Razor could have made. Dominant, composed, aggressive. Scott Barrett too. Just relentless. Preston's debut. Massive shout out to the young gun. Did his core roles perfectly. I'm really excited to see him again in Wellington, and hopefully he gets another shot. And how about Simon Barker? I mean, second test, and he's disrupting the Springboks Moors and setting the tone, physicality. Yeah, his physicality was amazing. He was quite physical in that breakdown, and yeah, that's the kind of depth the All Blacks needed. But now, Springbok fans, I feel for you guys. That's a tough one to swallow. But, I thought that they played with serious heart. They won the second half, dominant in the scrum time, and put us under huge pressure. They'll be frustrated with the lineouts and missed chances in our own half, poor execution, especially late in the game. But Rasi will have notes, and I'm sure they'll adjust for Wellington. But that's what this rivalry is. Never one-sided, never predictable. It's war every time these two teams meet, and I love it. Yeah, I love it. But in Wellington, next week, the Springbok will come out again, and they get another opportunity. And Reza has a big test ahead, and the All Blacks need to fix that scrum. And that's a real work on in our discipline, though. Much improved, but let's keep that going. It's about consistency. We can't be complacent. Now we're going to be consistent now and win the Rugby Championship. And we haven't won the Rugby Championship just yet. So, you can't count South Africa out. You can't underestimate them, But South Africa, they'll be hurting. And they'll be dangerous. And this rivalry isn't just special, it's sacred. And it brings up the best in both teams and the players. And I didn't care at the end of the day who won or lost. Much respect to both teams because, I knew how tough it would be, how much heart it would take. And both teams gave everything. And you just can't, like I said, you just can't predict these two teams, because it's an even contest. It can go down the wire. Credit to the All Blacks. So congratulations to our ABs, our mighty All Blacks on the win. The streak lives on. The fortress, is still alive. And congratulations to Ardie Savea on 100 incredible test match. But let's give love to the Springbok as well. Mad respect to them. Heads up, they go again in Wellington because they're calling. Wellington's calling, and let's run it back. And don't forget to comment below. What are your thoughts about this game between the two best teams and the greatest rival of all time? And also, where to from here? I mean, we've beat the world champs, and what does this win mean to you guys? Does it mean that, we're considered the best team in the world, or I don't know. Is this the beginning? I mean, could we win the Rugby Championship after this stellar performance? And what does South Africa need to do to bounce back? So let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going. Always open to everyone's opinions, and be honest and raw about it, and don't hold back. And if you enjoy this reaction, drop a comment. Like the video and subscribe for more rugby content. And thanks for tuning in, and keep supporting your rugby teams and keep the rugby spirit alive. And we'll see you in the next video.